we are going to be ranking and rating wonder kids that have played during the Euros so far. One has to go in he is him. Just because they might be not my GOAT does not mean we're saying they're bad by any means. All of these guys are ballers.
Yeah.
It's just comparable to each other. To start things off, we are going to go for Bundesliga winner.
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz. In fact, I think he was Bundesliga player of the season as well, which is mad. So Florian Wirtz, what are you saying?
I was fortunate enough to see West Ham play in both legs in the Europa League. Florian Wirtz was incredible. And when I did the video with you the other week, I came out of that feeling annoyed at myself that I didn't say he could have a breakout tournament because he's had a breakout season, you know.
That's fine because you chose your boy.
Exactly. I think Florian Wirtz, let's be clear, I think he's part of a Germany team that are very exciting to watch right now.
Definitely.
And I think there's multiple players in that team, young and old, that are performing to the level that we would expect a German team. For me, he's not him. He's not he is him because I think there's too many guys in that Germany team that are complementing one another. I think he could have an off day and someone else could have a good day and they can probably get away with it. So on that basis, for me, I put him in different gravy.
I think I'm in the similar sort of vein to you because, to be honest with you, like, don't get me wrong, like Leverkusen obviously has amazing impact and he has been amazing so far for Germany.
Yeah.
My only thing with him at the moment is that mainly for Germany in the Euro so far, despite him being extremely good, he's not the one I'm looking at in that team thinking he's taking it by the scruff of the neck or like controlling the game completely. Because for me, like a he is him has to literally like carry the whole team and be that guy on the pitch.
Everyone's on his shoulders.
Yeah, I think it's just different gravy as well.
Yeah.
He's a baller, man. Phenomenal player. Different gravy.
There we go.
Someone who has burst onto the scene in his first major tournament with an unbelievable goal, Guler.
I think, like the goal he scored. I think that game, the Georgia-Turkey, I should say, is probably one of the best games of the tournament so far.
Easily the best game so far.
The goals were all of an incredible standard. It was also good to see Georgia get their first goal in like a European tournament like that.
It was nice as well not to have like one sit back or vice versa. Like sometimes it can be a bit of a stalemate. You saw like both teams go like end to end with each other.
Absolutely. Arda Guler, it was good to see him, obviously, because he's clearly had a troubled season. Real Madrid as a young kid is always difficult. And, you know, you see players like fall out of love out of the club and move on, and you see some people push on and that. So I just hope that he can push on at Real Madrid. For me, in this tournament, I'm going to put him at saucy. Right, and I say this, and I feel like harsh. I feel like I'm ranking him.
Yeah, it makes you like he's a bad player.
But because like I feel like, you know, if Turkey do well in this tournament, I feel like some of the hopes of that nation will be on players like Arda Guler. So I feel like he's going to have to show a lot, and I think if he does that, he could potentially go up to different gravy, or even he is him. Who knows? But for now, I'm going to put him in saucy.
You know what? I'm inclined to agree. I think this is the part. I think we're just going to agree on a lot of these things. But for me, it's one of those ones where because of that injury, we haven't really seen enough of him at Real Madrid. I'm also a little bit concerned for him in particular that they've got Mbappe, they've got Endrick coming in. My concern is he going to get enough minutes at Real Madrid for us to really see what he's like? It's a bit harsh putting him. Well, I say harsh. It seems harsh putting him saucy, but I just don't think we've quite seen enough of him in particular.
I'm with you
to put him up any higher. Saucy. Next up is Xavi Simons. PSG prodigy, although he gets loaned out everywhere. Apparently he's getting loaned out again. I mean, Netherlands disappointing in my opinion. The first game. I think he definitely didn't really shine amongst that. I think very good season with RB Leipzig on loan.
Yeah, I absolutely love him as a player.
As a player, phenomenal, like all of the rest of these guys. Just tournament so far, he's not showing it for me yet. I know we're only like one game in, so it's a bit harsh, but we can only base off of what we've seen.
This is going to bite us in the arse, mate.
Oh, massively. He's going to get a hat-trick in the next game, of course he is. The fact that he hasn't necessarily nailed down his spot at PSG yet, little bit of a thing for me, because you've seen with some of these other players that you're going to see on this list, they've entered the first team of their teams and are smashing it already. Whereas he hasn't yet, and he's sort of having to still go out on loan, which isn't a problem. Like, they're still young players. Just when we're comparing to the rest of these guys, there's not many that I would put him above.
Absolutely, yeah. I always find this quite difficult to have these kind of conversations because I feel like I'm slighting the player, but we are talking about probably, you know, the 7 best wonder kids in this tournament so far. And if someone has to finish 7th.
Exactly.
You know, but when we talk about him as a player, like he's someone I'd love to see in the Premier League, and I think he could have an incredible career. I think he's showing that.
He would cook in Andrew's system.
I'm genuinely baffled. I'm baffled as to why PSG want to loan him out again, because he's had a great season with Leipzig.
Especially now with Mbappe going.
Yeah, exactly. For me, he's not my GOAT, just purely because I feel like that everyone else has been a little bit more impressive than him so far in the tournament.
Just on this list, it has to be not my GOAT, right?
You put him in, yeah, I agree.
I think
Mate, we are agreeing a lot, by the way.
I know, but someone has to go there. And you're going to see the players that are coming up, and I don't think any of them are going to deserve to go there. So
I agree. Yeah, okay.
Next up, we're going across to Spain. And we're going to go for Pedri. Well, I think you said before that this is his second Euros tournament already.
Yeah.
And he's 21 years old.
I think it's his it must be his third major tournament. Yeah, so it's kind of like, he's been impressive, but I don't think he's been the most impressive guy. That's a youngster for Spain. I think Pedri came off early. Well, not early. He came off in the second half.
Yeah, 60th minute. 50th
yeah, and I know he's coming back to fitness, so I feel like he could find his feet later in this tournament. For now, I would place him in Saucy because I feel like he has something to prove because he can come back from injury and be that guy. I think there's another Spanish youngster that is really grabbing the headlines at the moment.
I'm always a bit concerned when the players break through that young and have played that many minutes already. They're just not going to have the career that everyone thinks they're going to have. This happens generation upon generation. We big up a player massively early on in their career. They play hundreds of games too early and then they sort of just burn out. And I am genuinely concerned that that's going to happen to Pedri.
Right.
And I'm going to actually put it out there, and I think what is he, 21? Yeah, I think in 5 years' time, he is not going to be considered anywhere near
Please clip that.
the best. I just genuinely think it's going to happen. I think he's going to get burnt into the ground. So I'd say Saucy as well. I don't think
you put him in Saucy?
Yeah, I think Saucy.
It's a shame.
Saucy.
Yeah, so obviously we're talking about. So we've been talking about Pedri.
16 years old.
It's a joke. I mean, we're talking about obviously Pedri being at his third major tournament. He's been there and done that at Yamal's age and whatnot as well. Spain just keep doing it. They have this conveyor belt of talent. We saw Yamal come on. So he started the first game and he was just so impressive. He was one of the most exciting players that has played in this tournament so far. Technically brilliant, did everything. Just like everything you expect from a La Masia product. It's one of the easiest decisions of the day. He's in different gravy, and I think he could be. He is him.
He could be. He is him.
He genuinely could though, because this guy. What? How old is he? 17?
I think he's still 16. I think he turned 17 during the tournament or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I saw the clip. What was a clip? A picture earlier on Twitter, and it was him doing his school homework.
Yeah.
After bagging an assist in the Euros opening, or not the opening, their opening match.
Some of these players have got facial hair. Lamine Yamal can't even grow a beard, and we're talking about him being one of the best. Youngsters in the world, young players having an assured temperament and not letting pressure get to them. And it's kind of this animal monster mentality that the top players have. And he has it as a 16-year-old kid. I do hope though that he doesn't get run into the ground like a lot of players in modern football. And I do hope he gets protected a little bit in that way. I'll let you lead on the rating. Where are you going?
It's got to be different gravy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he can be. He is him. I think the only thing is he's just that too young at the moment to really see that. Maybe by the time next tournament comes around, we'll have a better idea.
But in 2 to 4 years' time,
he could actually be considered one of the best.
When he's competing with some of the other guys that we've got left to say, I think we could be having a different conversation about it.
100%. We are down to our final 2 players, and the next one is a German compatriot to Wirtz. It is Musiala. Wow. That is the first word I've got to say when I say this player's name, because lit up the Bundesliga at such a young age. So far in the tournament, at the time of recording, Germany just finished their second game. He has bagged a goal. No, 2 goals is it now? Yeah. 2 goals, I believe an assist, or at least he was involved in the build-up play to a few of the other goals. But for me, the thing that excites me the most about him is just when he has that ball at his feet, his movement is ridiculous. I was talking earlier about Wirtz, how the reason that he's not high for me is he isn't the player that sort of takes the game by the scruff of the neck like some others do. I think he does that. I think the way he carries the ball and his presence in that final third, for me, puts him as one of the best players in the world, let alone youngsters in the world.
So I'm actually going to suggest something that may be a little bit controversial to some, but I would actually suggest putting Wirtz down to Saucy. Now that's not to slight Florian Wirtz, but Musiala, I think for me, has probably been the most entertaining player in this tournament, and he's had substance with it as well. He's got the end product. He's got 2 goals already. Most important about him is I met Jamal Musiala last year. He's basically the new face for the Nike Tiempo boots. And when you think Nike Tiempo boots, you think technical players. You think Ronaldinho.
Yes.
And what I love most of all is he's not putting that boot to shame. He is the guy that is different gravy for Germany, and I would say Florian Wirtz has to come down because he might not be as important for Germany as Jamal Musiala.
I agree.
You agree?
But
I keep agreeing.
And you're going to disagree with me with this. I want to put Musiala as he is him.
You really do? No way.
And I know the player coming up, and it is actually a 50-50 toss-up.
I can't have it yours.
Shall we say who the next player is so that we can discuss it? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The final player is Jude Bellingham, of course.
Yeah, Bellingham,
The GOAT of England at the moment. The head on this boy is ridiculous. How young he is.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he's at Real Madrid already, obviously left England, basically saved Birmingham City with the transfer fee. Dortmund lit it up there as a youngster, got the move to Real Madrid, won 3 trophies, including the title, the league title and the Champions League in his first year. And despite his performance not being his best in the final, still bagged the assist.
For sure.
That got the win. So he's done it on every big stage. But not just that, what he impresses the most about me is the way he talks.
Yeah.
He speaks like he's 29 and in his prime already.
Yeah, again, it's what I was saying a moment ago. It's like temperament in world-class players. Like, it doesn't matter your age. If you've got it, you've got it. And he's one of the players on this list that definitely has it. So when we're talking about players, you can't put him in the same conversation as Jude Bellingham. And that's where I'm at with it. I think what he did for England in that game there is Jude Bellingham stepped up, and he put in a top level performance, and I feel like he put in a performance where he put everyone else on his back. And that's the only reason I put him in He Is Him, because that is the reason why. Because I feel like that's the reason I put him in there, because I feel like Jamal Musiala is one of many in that Germany side. I feel like Jamal Musiala may be like he is the leader of that one of many. Don't get me wrong. From what we've seen of England in this tournament so far, we haven't seen world-class performances all over the pitch. Like again, we're two English people. We're talking about an English player, and again, you're trying to put a German up top, by the way, which is sacrilege. You can't put a German player up top.
I'll give my reason why. If I had it my way, I would put both of them in He Is Him.
Yeah.
Because for their respective countries, they are him. Let's be real. For me, it then just becomes more down to a visual thing. When I'm watching Musiala play, I genuinely feel like I'm looking at the player. I'm thinking like, F me, you are literally going to be like the best in the world at this point. It might just be an aesthetic thing.
He's a 20-year-old kid that I have the absolute faith in. I feel like at the top moments where things are going hard, like he's not going to get sent off. He's going to do the smart thing. He's going to do the right thing. Like people in Spain love him. Like English fans love him. Like people in Germany love him. He is the guy. He is him.
I think you've swayed me, to be honest with you. I think you've swayed me. So you think Wirtz, saucy?
Musiala.
Okay, Musiala in different gravy. Fine. The boy, hopefully carrying us to the Euros. Ballon d'Or winner if he does. And you know what? Having actually looked at this looks right.
I'm happy with this.
That's a list. No doubt going to be comments on this of people slewing us saying, why is Xavi Simmons not number 1? Or like, oh, Pedri should be He Is Him. He's been doing it for 5 years.
Where's Jared Bowen? Yeah. Get him in there. I get you. Yeah, absolutely.
And on that note, who would you have in what order on this list? And do you think we have actually missed someone? Bear in mind, this is Europe only. We're not talking about your Hendricks and Brazil and whatnot. That's a whole other discussion.
Winter can't touch any of these players right now. He's an unproven kid. Come on.
Oh, all right. On that note, like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.